looks like a nice setup.
Brand new plant here. You got to watch out for everything. So we're going to have a lot of eyes on it here. We're going to put the water to it. Hopefully that goes well. If it does, then we're going to start adding dirt and see how it responds. But there's so many things going on here. There's a lot to look out for.
Mitch Blaschke is a well-known figure from the Gold Rush show who has become a household name due to his exceptional mechanical prowess and ability to troubleshoot on the spot. Although Mitch hasn't made much of an impact on Parker's team, his abilities and remarkable talent have aroused rumors and conjecture among supporters about his possible departure from the group. These rumors have escalated into a heated discussion as fans wonder why Mitch hasn't left Parker to launch his own business yet. Mitch is an experienced professional who has a large salary and a reputation for working well with knowledgeable colleagues to overcome challenges in mining operations. He is particularly well known for his quick thinking and problem-solving skills when handling the urgent issues that arise when operating heavy equipment. Some fans laud Mitch's abilities and capabilities, while some highlight the challenges he would have if he chooses to go it alone. Mitch can launch his mining company and become extremely wealthy because he appears to be the type of person who finds fulfillment in doing things by hand and finding efficient solutions to issues. He seems to have a talent for seeing issues from an outsider's perspective and coming up with solutions. It seems sense that he is paid a lot for all the hard work he puts in, as he does put in a lot of it. His several expensive race cars and vintage muscle car as a business owner attest to his excellent salary. Parker is aware of the significance of taking good care of important team members and making sure that a variety of perspectives are represented in their discussions. In the 5th season, the choice Mitch Blaschke made to join Parker's team was pivotal, and ever since, he has consistently delivered outstanding results. While Gold Rush enthusiasts continue to speculate about whether or not Mitch will depart the team, one thing is certain: his dedication and experience will have a significant impact on Gold Rush's mining operations. Mitch's expertise and on-demand problem-solving talents have kept Parker's wash facilities operating well and made a substantial contribution to the Gold Rush gold mining endeavor. According to reports, Mitch has already decided to leave the team in order to pursue new chances and forge his own path. Sava continues, supporters are curious as to whether Mitch would pursue a career in mining. Mitch had been more than simply a worker or associate for Parker. During their operations, he had been a mentor and a brother in arms. Thus, Parker was not at all pleased to hear the news. Mitch Blaschke has skill, but tragedy struck in Season 9 when Mitch was involved in a boat accident with Parker that resulted in a broken arm. This incident raised serious concerns about Mitch's health and its impact on Parker's gold mining operations. Ed, a mechanic and right-hand man, has been an indispensable member of Parker's crew since Season 3. He joined Hoffman's crew in Season 3 and later joined Parker's team, where he managed wash plants and was crucial to Parker's gold mining operations. Despite the setback, Mitch shown his indispensable nature once more, recuperating fully and carrying on with his services to the squad. Parker Scholl expressed his remorse for the incident, but Mitch's contributions as a former mechanic and right-hand man should not be overlooked. The season's final go totals reflect this. 8 was crucial to keeping things running. As demonstrated by the times he went with Parker and assisted him in winning $400,000 in gold in Season 9. In an attempt to grow their empire, Parker and his team conquered Alaska by storm by mining for gold on a famed gold field. Mitch Blaschke joined them, prospect for an area that was first mined in the 1900s. The old-timers dug shafts through concrete up to 100 feet deep until they hid the ground above the bedrock. They mined horizontally and pulled some gold to the surface, where they washed the last dirt through antiquated saw boxes, leaving behind some of the gold they had found in their training. Alora and her husband, Drew, believed there might be a way to salvage their season on this historic ground, so they laid them further into the claim. prospect for an area that was first mined in the 1900s. The old-timers left gold in their tailings, which became a huge advantage for the team. The mine boss expected the airstrip wash plant Big Red to produce gold. Being a mechanic and a foreman, Mitch had made a significant contribution to Parker's gold mining activities, but despite these difficulties, he had also witnessed several failures. During one of the gold rush seasons, Mitch was able to stay composed and make an unexpected reappearance that brought in a significant amount of money for Parker. Parker was prepared to travel to Alaska to finalize arrangements for mining claims. Before departing, he visited the mining site with his reliable firefighter, Mitch Blaschke, to talk about the wash plants and make sure everything was in working order. However, problems always managed to find a way in, and Mitch discovered that one of the mining equipment had broken down in front of him after Parker had left. Mitch, overseeing the activities of Parker's entire team, was very acquainted with the machines, so it surprised him when the Super Stacker, one of the most important machines that played a crucial role in Sling Gold, suddenly experienced a failure right before the action began. The Super Stacker was supposed to work closely with Lucifer, who was already in position alongside Big Red to separate pay dirt from gold. Mitch had planned to use the Super Stacker alongside the Lucifer to meet the target for the week. Now that the machine had decided to shut down without warning, things could get out of hand, and their weekly gold output could be cut short. Mitch had to do something to get the traitorous machine back to life and have it back into the game as soon as possible. The problem started when one of the mechanics and Parker's crew tried to adjust the Super Stacker to the perfect angles so it could feed Para to Lucifer. At first, the machine was very responsive, and the crew kept cheering until something unexpected happened. That the Super Stacker crashed suddenly, coming to an abrupt halt with a loud metallic sound that drowned out the cheering of the crew. Alec rushed to the machine to try to locate the issue, and after nearly going around it, he discovered a leaky area. Alec noted that the Super Stacker had blown the plug out of the cylinder, which was the cause of the leak. The plug was meant to keep the oil in place, but having the plug blown out in an effort to contain the situation was quite a headache. Alec made the incorrect step by attempting to lift the Super Stacker, which resulted in the top of the stopper sealing the cylinder falling away in this instance. Because of his aptitude for fixing problems, Mitch stood out when an apparently straightforward machine malfunctioned. In the mining area, Mitch and Akit were unable to locate a fresh plug. Because there was a good chance they wouldn't find one in town, they set out to look for a plug from an old rig truck that was just sitting around. Alec noticed that the truck was missing a lot of parts, and Mitch confirmed that they had used kits of parts from it to fix parts of malfunctioning machines. They looked through all the plugs in the engine, but most needed to be bigger. It was difficult to find a plug in TML, so they searched for a long time until they discovered the perfect one, but it was too huge to use. After this frustrating and unproductive quest, they decided to give up on the old truck and try other nearby machines. Mitch made the decision to use a drilling machine with numerous hydraulics that could hold numerous plugs. They moved to the drill machine in the hopes of finding a small plug, but discovered that the appropriate plug sizes were too large to increase their chances of finding the ideal plug. They then checked other areas of the drill machine and discovered that the lift cylinder's bottom was filled with a mass that contained a tiny plug. They concentrated on that one plug in the hopes that their arduous search would come to an end. After some screwing, the plug came loose and Mitch unscrewed it, praying that it was the proper thing to do because the Super Stacker remained immobile. He made fun of the fact that it appeared tiny enough when they arrived to the stationary machine. Mitch did not lose time in guiding the plug into its proper place and then trying to screw it in. If the screw fits, the problem will be solved and they can carry on with their clever plan for the day. Mitch kept muttering to himself, releasing all the stress that had built up. The super stacker mining equipment that was causing an oil spillage crisis was a significant setback for the team. After fixing the super stacker and resolving the oil spillage crisis, the crew had to refocus their efforts to get Lucifer to work in as much pay dirt as possible before Parker returned from Alaska. Alec waited for confirmation of his thoughts and prayed that they were true. Once Mitch confirmed that the plug was right, both couldn't help but give themselves a quick high five. Finally, the crew was back on track, as Mitch had saved the day with his brilliant thinking and resilience, even in the face of frustration. The boss's right-hand guy, Mitch Blaschke, drove the 120-ton super stacker down to the Lucifer to make sure that the PD was transported to the wash plant without a hitch. At the end of the week, the boss returned from Alaska and connected with his crew to prepare to weigh the total amount of gold they had mined for that week. Mitch maneuvered the machine to connect with Lucifer, and the crew held their breaths the entire time. It wasn't until the two machines were successfully connected that they heaved a sigh of relief, as valuable time was lost, and both the super stacker and the wash PL had to work extra hours to recover the amount of gold they originally intended to make for the week and by extension the season. When it came time to weigh the gold, Lucifer produced a total of 16,285 ohms, worth over $290,900, despite facing significant setbacks. Parker inquired about the status of the super stacker and how the plug was replaced. Mitch took the honors of briefing him about what had happened. The other wash plant bug was also active, having been working non-stop in the dirt throughout the week. Both wash plants generated as much output as they could given the unique circumstances in which they found themselves. On multiple seasons of the Discovery show Gold Rush, Mitch Blaschke has proven to be a formidable force. He began his career working for Todd Hoffman and later Parker Shell, lending his expertise to help whoever he worked with become wealthy. However, when he wasn't mining for the precious metal, fans naturally wondered where Mitch Blaschke was. He returned to the show in season 14, but at one point his future on Gold Rush was in jeopardy when he and his boss Parker Snobble ended up in a serious jet boo accident, with Mitch suffering a broken arm in the process. Fortunately, he remained upbeat throughout the incident and eventually managed to get back on his feet, in addition to his work on Gold Rush. With a rating of 4.98 out of 5 on the platform, Mitch Blaschke runs a Cameo account where people can pay him to send personalized messages to themselves or loved ones. Mitch does a great job at it, and for the time being, fans can still see him on the show helping Parker Snobble find the most gold each season. Thank you.